ephemeris, the Ayanamsa that Krishnamurti Paddhati system follows, is very unique to the KP Astrology system. So it does not follow any other ephemeris such as the Lahiri Ayanamsa, etc., etc. We don't really follow that. Whenever we draw a chart, this ephemeris is used to plot the bhavas and the planets. So in this chart, let's quickly go through what each of these planets and what each of these bhavas really are pointing to. So the first Lagna Bhava is posited in Scorpio at 22:05:53. This is the fundamental first difference that you will find between traditional Hindu astrology and Krishnamurti Paddhati system. The KP astrology system follows the Western pointing, the Western directions, the Western philosophy and the science in actually plotting the exact degree minutes and degree seconds in each of the bhavas and each of the planets. What's more important is there is something called as the sublord. Now the Lagna Bhava posited at 22:05:53 is owned by Mars, because the Scorpio is always owned by Mars. This is the Rasi Lord or the sign Lord. Lagna Bhava is posited at 22:05, therefore at that location the star Lord is Mercury. Professor Krishnamurti believed that the sign Lord and the star Lord don't really make much of a significance with respect to the Bhava predictions. So you really don't say, oh, this person is a Vrichchiga Lagna, the Scorpio Lagna, therefore he will be little ferocious, he'll be dogmatic in his approach and things like that. What you really decide is looking at the sublord. Every bhava is pointed with specific sign lord, star lord, sublord. A star spans for about 13°20 minutes. Each of those stars, we have 27 stars in the 360-degree arc around the sky, and each of these stars spanning for 13°20 minutes is further subdivided according to the Vimshottari Dasa spanning. For instance, Venus subdivision follows 20/120, because in Vimshottari Dasa system there is 20 years allotted for the Venus Dasa. Therefore, we take 20 out of 120, that is 1/6 of the 13°20 minute span of a star is allotted for Venus sub in every star. Sun is allotted 7/120, Moon is allotted 10/120, and so on and so forth. So these subdivisions are ruled by the subdivision lord. In this particular case, the Lagna Bhava is ruled by Sun. Now, the second most important lesson for predictive stellar astrology of KP astrology system is to learn that Sun is not Sun in any house or any astrology. We have to judge Sun based on the star in which it is posited. Sun here in this example chart is posited at 26:51:59 in Libra at Vishaka Nakshatra. Vishaka Nakshatra is owned by Jupiter. Therefore, Sun becomes the tenant of Jupiter's star. The owner of the star delivers the results associated with that particular sublord. In this case, Sun will behave like Jupiter. It will listen to Jupiter. It will do what Jupiter tells him to do. Jupiter is posited at Capricorn at 29:21. At this location, it is in the third bhava. So Sun will give the result of the third bhava predominantly, because Jupiter is posited in the third bhava. Jupiter owns Sagittarius, which owns the second bhava, and therefore Sun will give the benefit of the second house predominantly. Jupiter also owns the fifth bhava, which is in Pisces, the sign lord of which is Jupiter. And hence, Sun will give the result of Jupiter. Jupiter is posited in third bhava. Jupiter owns the second bhava. Jupiter owns the fifth bhava. So Sun will give the benefit of 2, 3 and 5. And of these three houses, the third house will be the most predominant result giving house because Jupiter is deposited in that particular bhava. When the Lagna bhava Sun is posited in the star of Jupiter, Vishaga Nakshatra, and Jupiter itself is deposited in the third bhava, the person will be brilliant in his mind. This child who is born on the 13th of November 2021 at 8:12 a.m. will be one of the most brilliant persons you will ever find, simply because the intelligence of this person is very clearly driven by the third bhava. The exact traditional Hindu astrology system that talks about the benefit of each bhava still remains the same in Krishnamurti Paddhati system. But what is unique is the sublord theory and the star lord theory. Also remember that if you would like to predict the result of a particular question, for instance, will this person go for a job? You look at the sixth bhava. The sixth bhava sublord is Ketu. Sixth bhava starts in Aries at 2604. The sublord is Ketu, and Ketu is posited in Anuradha Nakshatra in Scorpio at 80303. Anuradha Nakshatra is owned by Saturn, and Saturn is in 13 degree 42 degree minutes in Capricorn. Now, does it mean that it is in the third bhava or in the second bhava? You have to observe this very carefully and learn this beautiful, simple concept in Krishnamurti Paddhati system. Saturn is in 13 degree 42 degree minutes. Third bhava starts in Capricorn at 22 degree 45 degree minutes. That means you are in, let us say, Delhi, and your friend is there, or friend's house is there in Jaipur. Do you say that I am in Delhi, or do you say your friend is in Delhi? You don't say that. The third bhava is a good 9 degree away from where Saturn is posited. Saturn is at 13 degrees, and third bhava is starting. When we say third bhava, we really mean the ending of the second bhava, starting of the third bhava. So it's the third cusp starts at 22 degrees. And therefore, there's a good 9 degree difference between the Saturn's position and the third bhava cuspal starting point. You cannot say Saturn is in the third bhava. You must say that Saturn is posited in the second bhava, even though the second bhava starting cuspal point is in Sagittarius. Anything from 21 degree 28 degree minutes in Sagittarius to 22 degree 45 degree minutes in Capricorn will be determined to be in the second bhava, with one exception. The exception is that there is something called as conjunction rule. If, for instance, this same child was born a few minutes earlier, let's edit this chart and say that instead of at 8:12 a.m., this child was born sometime at 7:45 a.m. Alright, now you will find that Saturn is at 13:42:45. It has not moved because it is a slow moving planet. But the third house is in Capricorn at 15:49:45. Saturn is now within 2 degrees of the third house. So Saturn will give the benefit of the third house more predominantly than the second house. You should not say Saturn is in the second house. You should say Saturn is in the third house. Let's take another example. All planets except Sun has a 3-degree conjunction rule. That means if it is within 3 degrees of another planet or within 3 degrees of the next bhava, not the previous bhava, the next bhava, then you must determine that this particular planet is in the next bhava itself. Sun has an exception. Sun has a 6-degree conjunction aspect. Let me give you an example. Let us say that the child is born at 8:25 a.m. Now you watch Sun very carefully. Sun is in Libra at 26:52. But the 12th bhava starts at 29:08. So Sun is to be determined as sitting or deposited in the 12th bhava and not in the 11th bhava. Now you will also find that in this particular chart, the 11th bhava is in Libra at 0047. 12th bhava is also in Libra at 2908. This is called as the displaced cusp. Sometimes you will find 2 cusps in the same Rasi. You will not find any cusp in Virgo or in Pisces, but you will find 2 cusps in both Aries, which has the 5th cusp and the 6th cusp, and Libra, which has the 11th cusp and the 12th cusp. This is also very unique to the Krishnamurti Paddhati system. Unlike the traditional Hindu astrology system, the KP astrology system does not follow Rasi to Rasi aspects. It will not say, for instance, that moon is aspecting the 10th bhava. It will not say like that. Krishnamurti Paddhati system follows the Western astrology. For example, in this case, Mars is posited in Libra at 1503. Mercury is posited in Libra at 1728. So it will be determined that these 2 planets are conjunct with each other. Any planets other than the Sun, of course, have a 3-degree conjunction rule. If a planet comes within the 3 degrees of each other, then they will modify the results of each other. In this case, Mars results will be modified by Mercury, which owns the 8th bhava. So there will be some difficulties for people. 8th bhava is a house of difficulties. Another example of aspect is Sun is aspecting Jupiter. I'll show you how. Sun is in Libra at 26:52. At precisely around 93 degrees from where Sun is posited, Jupiter is posited in Capricorn at 29:21. This is called as the square aspect, and this will keep each other in check. Jupiter will not be allowed to do great work because Sun is aspecting Jupiter from the 12th bhava. So keep that in mind as well. 60 degrees and 120 degrees are considered benefic aspects. Conjunction, 90 degrees and 180 degrees, with of course the 3-degree margin rule for all planets and 6-degree margin rule for Sun, are considered malefic aspect. A malefic planet giving a malefic aspect to another benefic planet will keep the benefic planet under check. A benefic planet giving a benefic aspect to a benefic planet will combine together to give great benefic results for a native. This is another unique theory of Professor K.S. Krishnamurti. I hope this video helps you understand KP astrology in a nutshell. If you would like to learn more about Krishnamurti Paddhati's KP astrology system, visit learnastrologyonline.in. There are hundreds of videos in the course for you to learn at the convenience of your home, at the convenience of your own time.